able to hear. Let me adjust the audio real quick to proper Skyrim levels. Alright. I have no idea if the internet will hold up, but welcome to Skyrim. I expect it to be kind of bad. Hello, welcome. So, I don't remember what we were doing. Um, hmm. There were some Daedra quests. So I think I'll probably just continue with those. Then I'll finish the Ethereum Forge and then I'll worry about Daedra quests. Well, it was temporarily standing on the table. Yeah, we had massive storms here and not everything is back to normal, so the internet may be a little bit spotty. So if there's buffering, I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. Alright, we have our... We cleaned this place ages ago, which means that there's rift guards here instead of bandits. I'll have to speak to her first. I mean, it's not like I can drop the quest item. Of course I have the shards with me. Oh, what happens if I don't steer? Okay. That guard gets it flying. Okay, now I know dragon attacks are weird, but I think this is something you'd want to talk about more. Oh, hello, Rift Guard. Coming with us? Like, really freaking deep. I think this is like deeper than Blackreach even. Keep up, Katria. I was here like a month ago. There's really not anything important out here. There are more kinetic resonators. Because, of course, there are. And there's probably fishing down here, too. If you didn't bring a bow... there's one somewhere around here. On this table, maybe? There's some arrows down there, and a dwarven bow up here. So, if you didn't bring a bow, you're still good. Or if you can't conjure a bow. It doesn't matter which order I hit them in, I just have to hit them at all. I'm going to not be... It wouldn't wouldn't be very much fun if there wasn't a fight here. Sure is. So there are steam valves up here. You turn them, that clears out the steam, and allows you to get closer to the forge. But of course, I have to defeat the guardians of the forge. Let's get ourselves a stone flesh. There's dwarven spiders and warped dwarven spiders. And yes, it wouldn't be much fun if it was only spiders. Over time, the steam will come back on. You don't have to turn it off, but if you're going to be fighting down there, you should. Alright, let's get Zephyr ready because... Oh, shoot. I thought I was done with the ones up here. No, we've still got spheres to deal with. Alright, now. A special centurion named the Forge Master. I'll pepper him with some shots from up here. He doesn't see me yet. And the more free hits you can get on any sort of centurion. A sentient person would realize that when they're standing behind that pillar, they're not getting hit. Actually, I'm not hitting him anyway. Why are so many of my arrows missing? Let's say he's coming up here. He sees me. Hello. He does not do steam, he does fire. Also, if you're close enough to him, the fire just goes right over your head. He has the same loot pool as any other centurion. So if you're hoping he specifically dropped anything special, sorry, he doesn't.
I almost can't believe it. We did it. We actually did it. There's only one thing left to do. We have to Ethereum forge.
How we do? How do we do that?
By forging something, of course. Go ahead. After everything you've done, you should do the honors.
So you don't have to forge something. What with?
There isn't any Ethereum here, is there? Damn it.
Sure is.
Wait. Yes. Yes, there is. The shards we collected. They're pure Ethereum, remember? It's not much, but it'll do.
There are also mods to
And the
give you
materials
more
necessary.
Ethereum if you want to make the other things. But you think there's more Ethereum somewhere?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. After all these years, it's a miracle even this much survived.
But without mods, you get
We need to
one.
count.
One
This
item.
may be the only chance we ever get to use the forge.
So searching for materials is optional. But if you come over here and open this chest, it has what you need to craft any of the items. So you do not need to bring anything down here to use the forge. There are, however, some additional treasures in this room, and we are going to use Become Ethereal to make it happen. Hopefully, one word of the shout is enough. Get up here. Whew. Go ahead and heal. And there's a chest here. There's some things. I'm gonna try over there. It's about to wear off. Please get up. Nope, that. Okay. That's why I said first. Because you just never know if you're gonna make it in time. Ideally, I would have multiple words of the shout, and it wouldn't be an issue. Ow! I didn't think I was actually on the fire anymore. I forgot that the platform does actually count as being in the lava. And we're off. Oh, come on! I made it back. I thoroughly disagree with that assessment. It's taken me so much longer to get back than it took me to get there. So the things that loop around actually come up here, I think. Maybe. I think so. No, I'm wrong. There's a chest on this side too, though. May as well grab that. Oh, this is stupid. I'm gonna play God. Because I can. Just get an extra word of become ethereal before you try coming here. There's a chest in the corner here. And then it loops around to an area above everything else. And then the same is true for the other side. Just here, some more dormer metal. And then come up and around above everything else. As far as I'm aware, that's all that's out there. Pretty sure there's nothing on that pillar. So, the Ethereum Forge. We have three options. I'll go from the top up. Ethereal Staff summons a dwarven spider or sphere for 60 seconds wherever the caster is pointing. I believe it's random which one it chooses. You can actually get spiders and spheres later, so I don't feel like that's terribly useful. There's the Ethereal Shield. Enemies struck by the shield become ethereal for 15 seconds, making them unable to attack or be attacked. That could help you get away from an enemy if you needed to. And the Ethereal Crown retains the last standing stone ability you held, granting you the effects in addition to those of your current stone. However, it does count as armor, so remove your helmet while you're wearing it. A staff, a shield, and a crown. I am going to pick the crown because I always do, and I will show you why in time.
Beautiful. That crown. It's everything I could have hoped for. And with that, it's done. No one could possibly deny what we found now.
What now?
For me, I've done what I set out to do. But you, take that out into the world. And if anyone asks, tell them what we discovered together.
Is there any more Ethereum?
No,
And
I honestly can't.
congratulations and
After all
thanks,
these
Katria.
years, I've waited so long for this moment. We found it at last. And now, I think I can rest. Farewell, my friend, wherever your travels take you.
I appreciate that. But I'm basically never on Discord, so me adding you wouldn't do much. Alright, so let me see if I can remember how to do the crown right. I think I have to get the other stone that I want, then put on the crown and activate a new one. So if I'm right about that, then now that I'm outside, I'm going to travel across Skyrim to the Lover's Stone. Apparently I haven't actually been to it. I've heard of it. I haven't been to it. You know what? There is something I can do to make the stream look better. I can plug it in. Just give me a second. When I plug in my computer, it messes up. the sizing of like every window. I don't know why. Okay, that should be better. Uh, okay, so we're going up. Gonna try and get to the lover stone. The wild horses you find are not immortal. Come on. There we go. There's usually a bear over here. If I avoid the lover stone, it's usually to avoid the nearby bear. But at our current level, bears are not particularly worrying. So the lover stone makes all of your skills improve 15% faster. But it acts exactly as a lover's comfort bonus does, uh, in the sense of uh, sleeping on the same bed as your spouse, and prevents you from getting that a breasted bonus when you sleep. But if you put it on the ethereal crown, then you can remove the crown. It removes the lover stone, and put the crown back on, and it re-adds the lover stone. So what you can do is you can sleep, you can get your rested bonus, and then you put the crown on and you get the rested bonus and the lover stone bonus. So if I do that now, I would get like 40% faster anything. In this case, I would be thinking of using it for smithing. Just remember that anytime you put the crown on, it's going to take off your helmet. So if you're worried about your armor rating, keep that in mind. So we got that done. I want to get rid of these. I want to get these horses off of my thing. So double brown horse. The double brown horse is near Solitude across the river from Cutlass Farm. My I did get a I did switch out my controller for a different cord, or a part of a different cord, and it's working better than it did before, but it's still not perfect, so I'm gonna have to purchase a new controller at some point soon, which is annoying, but I can manage. So across the river from Cutlass Farm, we're going to be using Detect Life so that we can find the horse a little bit easier. And I do not believe these horses show up until you get the uh, wild horse map. In my previous stream playthrough, I didn't even bother to get the wild horse map. I just got the unicorn and said forget the wild horses. Threw me off on one. Please don't throw me off the side of that cliff hill. Come on, Cecil. Hang on. There's the burial mound that it was near. An empty burial mound, I will point out. Alright, we found and tamed the Doppel brown horse. I will register that it's mine.
My husband had. It's hard work keeping Solitude fed, but I wouldn't trust any other family to do it.
She's not the stable master. She owns the farm. That's locked, so I don't think her husband is in there. Blaze is sleeping there, because that's what he does. Guess he's not awake yet.
Is this about the stables? My husband Gaiman handles the Looking business. For a horse? You want to talk to my father, Gaiman.
And where is your father?
You got work hard for the future? Leave the past be. Of course.
So they named this one Kara.
Oh, you're a wizard? I didn't you cast that spell just now yet? I was hoping you could. Oh, right.
I don't know if I actually have Fade Other. I don't.
You do it. This is gonna be so fun. Ah! Leave me alone!
You scared the horses. You deserve it.
Oh, you're a wizard? I really? I mean, still cute? Okay, cool. Now I'm finally going to have some fun around. Bye!
I will lie to you. White Spotted Horse is next on the list. Spotted White. Lower East March in the cliffs north of Shorestone. Shorestone is misspelled. As far as I know, the horses stay tamed, but if you register a new one, it goes back to where you found it. The cliffs north of Shorestone.
God might get nervous. Man approaches with his weapon drawn.
I always thought Shorestone was part of the Reach. There's an enemy of some sort down here. And the guard, maybe? Oh, it's just a rabbit. I'm not friend, but not hostile either. They'll just run away forever. I wonder if there's a mod that turns the rabbits into killer rabbits. It probably is. I assume it's on top of this mountain. But there must be a way up. Why would they put a horse in the location that you would need a horse to get up to? There's another non-friendly. We're outside the Northwind Mine. I can see that there's stuff still higher up, which means I'm not at the top. Do they expect me to go through Northwind Mine to get up to Northwind Summit? I think that's what they're expecting. Though I feel like if the game were telling me to, if the horse was up there, it would have mentioned the Dragon Roost in the notes. But in any case, we'll get up there and figure it out then. Unfortunately, I can't use spells on horseback. So if I want to cast Detect Life while I'm up here, I have to dismount first. Like if I could fling a fireball whilst riding a horse, I would probably play a lot more mages. Alright, let's get off again and look around. We're not north of Shorestone anymore. I'm seeing over there is a guard. Down here among these trees would be a perfect place to put a horse. Okay, I have no idea where this one is. Let's move on for now. Red horse. West of White Run in the open plains. How descriptive. Of course, none of them have any sort of quest marker on them, which is a shame. But they don't want you to just be able to follow quest marker. They want you to actually have to seek them out. I mean, if you're going to avoid the 1000G to buy a horse, they can't just hand it to you. Kill the elk out of frustration. For all I know, these small animals killed the horse. And it's impossible to get now. For all I know. I think we've gone far beyond what would be considered west of Right Run in the open plains. Any further and it should have mentioned Rorikstead instead of White Run. I think I would prefer a X marks the spot style map as opposed to vaguely written notes in a journal. Pale horse. East of Windhelm, north of Hollyfrost Farm, in the forest nearing the shoreline. This is a forest. We found it. It doesn't matter how many wild horses you tame, it's not like your character gets better at doing it. Whether you get thrown off is completely random. It could happen once, it could happen twice, it could happen 5 times. At least I assume it could happen 5 times. Alright, we actually found another one and successfully tamed it. There's an enemy nearby. Bro! I just got this horse, leave me alone. Please stop shooting spells at it. Alright, so let's see what this horse is named. This horse is named Aura. There's still a black horse and a chestnut horse we haven't tried to find. West of Falkreath, past the nearby ruins. That's where the black one is. Uh, okay, it's more than just the cord. It's it's something further along in this controller. Roadside ruins. There's this brigand in here. Here's my horse. The first time I did the wild horses creation, this is the horse I took. The one out here. So I know I'm capable of finding it. I remind myself exactly what it said about the runes. Past the nearby ruins. Well, that's just fantastic. I'm trying to find a horse, and a dragon decides to attack. Plus a cave bear. Not to mention any other number of nearby enemies. Freaking necromancer? Alright. Still one more enemy. Technically not an enemy, it was just a fox that had been controlled by the Spriggans. We done now? You know, if the horse was anywhere over in this area, it's gone now. It would have fled. This is not going as well as I thought it would. I do not remember any of these horses being even the slightest bit difficult to find. The worst part is I don't even want any of them. I just want them out of my journal. Fine. Northwest of Falkreath, south of Evergreen Grove, and near Cracked Tusk Keep is where it actually is. So if I head towards Cracked Tusk Keep, I should be able to find it. Or everything could just be wrong. I am only seeing red dots when I cast this. And I want to kill all the random animals just to get them off of there. And this controller is just so frustrating. So what I changed was this part of the controller near the end because it felt like the connection was loose. But I switched it with part of a different controller and it doesn't work, which means somewhere in the rest of the cord is where the issue is. Start at Evergreen Grove. Make my way up to it. So I'm actually at that location. I'm going to turn to face south. Exactly south. There's something blue over here. This is a horse. I wouldn't call that a very good description of where it was either. If I had to pick one to keep, it would probably be the black one, but I'm going to get the unicorn after doing these. It went a long ways. Fortunately, once you push the button to ride, it doesn't matter how much it moves after that, you'll still get on it. You just have to be close enough to get the prompt. You're a different animal. This isn't Breath of the Wild. You can't ride things besides horses. Riding a bear in that game is a trip. Alright, let's find out what this one is named.
Got the fleetest steeds in all the sky. Man like you, of course.
Soul.
Only thing better than riding a swift horse is riding a swift horse over hill.
So we were looking for the... We'll try and find the chestnut horse without a map. Chestnut, east of Helgen, not far from the roadside. Instead of going to Helgen, I'll go to the Fall Creek Stormcloak camp and see if they attack me immediately. They didn't. Alright, we'll get onto the road. And head in this direction. I saw blue. There we go. I got thrown off pretty quickly. Watch it run away into the Stormcloak camp and get away. It's trying to throw me off. Got him. Alright. Let's see what kind of name the chestnut horse gets.
Got the fleetest steeds in all. Of course.
Heimdall. If you say so. It says there if I had the coin I'd hire a wizard to use Death Life. So, you know, it is telling me to do that. Uh, white spotted horse. There are like hundreds of search results for each of these, which makes me think that, no. People may not love this. Okay, so this white spotted horse. Let me reconnect real quick. Okay, that gave me like half a second of control. It says the white spotted horse is in the cliffs north of Shore's Stone. It's not Shore's Stone. It's Stony Creek Cave. So find the cave's entrance and look west. Not those horses.
Prefect.
And not the wounded soldiers. There's too much interference. And why our fellow Imperial soldiers?
Keep an eye out for Stormcloak spies.
This is my horse. I appear to have been further misled. This is not. This is not producing results. Okay, according to this, it does say west of Stony Creek Cave. West of Stony Creek Cave, west of the road, and northwest of Crags Lane Cavern, on the green cliff overlooking the volcanic tundra below. So I haven't been to Crags Lane Cavern as of yet. There you are. The unicorn is not at all difficult to find. Whoa, that was like a half horse tilt. What is happening? I'm not trying to horse tilt. I actually don't like horse tilt even in speedruns. It's like you're not playing the
That's
game at
how
all.
we'll get to know each other better, of course.
Tia is your name. And Heimdall walks away. Alright, the Red Horse is the last one on this list. It is west of Whiterun. Uh, somewhere-ish. That's not much help. It just says west of Whiterun. In the plains. Yes, that is the same thing the journal said. I would appreciate a little bit more than, a wide open plain that stretches a lot of area. Northwest of Right Run Stables near a mammoth skull. Now, by mammoth skull, does it mean the giant camp or does it mean an actual mammoth skull? That's. Well, I'm detecting something because my alteration skill went out. Let's get rid of these mud crabs. It says head northwest from the Right Run Stables out into the Tundra Plains toward the direction of the nearby giant camp slash mammoth skull landmark, which is exactly what I just did. Here it is. At long last. According to the unofficial Elder Scrolls pages, these horses are marked essential. I'm still going to quickly take out the... If that's the mammoth skull that it meant, then that's ridiculous. If this were Dynasty Warriors, I would keep the red horse. If you know, you know. Alright. We spent an hour hunting down horses, none of which we're actually going to use. Okay, I did the Ethereum Forge first. Dragon is actually attacking Whiterun? Crazy. Fall to me, dragon. Dude, you don't need to land that near the Western Watchtower. They've had enough of dragons. I think I actually hit it. It's about to land on top of me, but I think I hit it. Stoneflesh did not do much for me. Wow, okay. Whew. That's close. This is gonna put me way over carry weight. I have a solution. Excuse you, guards.
But the fleet is leaving, of course.
Its name is Hilder. And I'm going to... I played for like an hour this morning and the controller worked perfectly. I'm going to mount my new horse and ride it over to the giant, the dragon I just killed. I just knocked my phone down. And then I'm going to get back on the horse. Even if you're over encumbered, you can fast travel on the horse. So you just have to get into Whiterun at least.
Murdered the High King. His voice shouted him apart.
Put the shield up so I move a little bit faster.
You're someone. Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
Okay. I definitely had some junk there that I was able to offload. So I have a bunch of stuff from the Ethereum Forge that I can put away. And then just other things I got along the way. I'll take a break in a minute here so I can fix up the power to my headset. I'll stash the Daedric arrows. I will be keeping, for the most part, the ethereal crown with me. I'm not wearing the Gilder amulet right now. I can put the wild horse notes away now. I got that. That quest is done. I did that quest. I guess I didn't take that note from me though. I kind of feel like maybe I should progress the main quest so that I can, use Dragon Rend. I also have a lot of stuff to sell right now. I did get a map of Wild Horse's miscellaneous item, but you can't really look at that to... I mean, it shows you a general location, yes, but not really any more than the notes tell you. Or maybe I just want to believe that it's not any more helpful.
blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs.
I just sold a bunch of stuff to her, but
Don't
I'll
forget to check inside the
sell
shop.
that as well.
Welcome to. Take a look.
I finally have a playthrough where Wolfbirth is not dead. Okay.
Good doing.
Now we actually have decent carry weight. But we're not done. We have potions to get rid of too.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler. What do you need? Take a look.
So I've been keeping a lot of these like, just in case. Let's not worry about plentiful things. I had a lot of vigorous healing that I didn't realize I had. Could have been using those.
Everything going right? Let me know if you see anything you like. Everything. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
Let's see. I don't need that or that. Alright.
Do come back.
So I will come back and do
Need something?
something. I think I will come back and do the only cure.
It's no fun getting pushed around all the time.
Because I have all the stuff that I need for the incense. So I should take it over there and at least, if do nothing else, make the incense. So that I don't accidentally uh, get rid of any of the things I need for it.
I am your sword
The
and your
Deathbell
shield.
flower and vampire dust. Deathbell vampire dust. Okay. So I will go do that, but I'm going to take a break first. And I'll be back with you in just a little bit.
Ah, have you? Let Kesh have them. Yes, this will create a fine fume.
My bad.
That should do. Now, inhale deeply.
If you will get out of the way, Kesh, I will gladly inhale the fumes. Waft them, my man. Waft.
Breathe deep, mortal. I would have you hear me well. So let these vapors fill your lungs.
Now, what do you want with me?
I have watched you for some time, you know. The decisions you've made intrigue me. And I wonder if you are the proper agent for a task of mine.
What task?
I sent a blessing to Mundus, a wasting plague that infected a scattering of Breton villages. One of my monks, the elf Orchendor, was sent to gather these afflicted. He shepherded them into Bathardons for me, but has since lost his way. I will not stand for betrayal. I want you to go to Bathardons and kill Orchendor in my name. So you have, mortal.
Say no more, I'll kill the
Go
elf.
now. Kill Orchendor.
Sure thing.
This one needs something? Not far, not far. This one looks upon it on clear days. Look to the west, at the foot of the mountain. The dwarven ruins there. Bathardams.
Who is Orchendor?
Orchendor? Keshnoir. He is an overseer, shepherd, gathers the afflicted, contains the festering wound. Orchendor and his afflicted are meant to stand ready, awaiting Periite's command to cover the world with his blessing. May you walk up to himself.
This is going to be very different from how I usually do this quest. Typically, when I do Bathardams, I sneak through the whole place and don't kill a single afflicted. But my sneak is not very good, so the chances of me sneaking past all of them are not very good. So, I might have to kill them all. I mean, we'll see. Some might be allowed to live if they don't get in my way. But how often is it the case that potential enemies in Skyrim don't get in your way? There's a dragon nearby. So they can use like normal attacks and the like, but they will also puke on me occasionally. I don't know what the attack is actually called in the game's code, but they are essentially vomiting on you.
Going to enjoy killing you.
We've seen afflicted refugees traveling throughout Skyrim at various points. And if we had actually gotten into combat while they were nearby, we also would have seen them spit on those enemies. And if I had talked to any of them, like actually engaged in dialogue rather than passive dialogue, then they would have told me to come here. There appears to be fumes in several urns around the area. Yeah, it's like the ones that are sleeping that I usually let live. through each run of this area. But if I want to look around at all, then I'm going to have to kill them. But Thardams is a location I came to when I decided to test out the Fortified Restoration loop back in the day. I had made a necklace that had Fortify Sneak on it. It made me like 1800% more difficult to detect. So if you have a Fortify Sneak enchantment that strong, you just don't get detected. So I went into sneak mode, pushed the control stick the whole way, and just moved. Occasionally I would bump into someone, but it just didn't matter. The Afflicted in general are not terribly difficult enemies. We've seen that a lot of them have, like, just basic clothes as their armor. So. Yeah, they'll do damage to me occasionally, but for the most part, I'll be fine. When I'm done here, I will get a very nice shield. I'll probably end up using it for most of the game. I have to come over here to flip a switch to open that gate. I don't think, yeah, just down here. It is nice how fast even Dwarven Ruins go when you're not bothering to just sneak around everywhere. I imagine, yeah. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Ugh. See, that's why you really need a controller that stays connected during a game like Skyrim. Because, you know, if it doesn't, uh, enemies might kill you. I only panicked a little bit. That's why I'm alive. A little bit of panic is okay. This Afflicted had Dwarven armor, but a spinning blade trap will be a problem. Oh, that's just a gate that I can open. I thought I had to wait for the blade trap to finish the cycle before. Yes, if I'm running forward and it doesn't make any sense for me to be running straight forward, it's probably because the controller disconnected again. wonder what restoration level will be when we're done here. It's weird because when I unplug it after it's turned off, it does register that that is when it is becoming disconnected. So it must know that it's still hooked up. Afflicted note. Orchendor has gone down to the airdrome. He believes some of the old Dwemer machines down there will help him commune with our blooded lord. Just make the incense, bro. It worked for me, not one of the initiated, or besotted, whatever you want to call them. I imagine it would work for the overseer. I didn't know there were spider workers in this room. I usually don't trigger them. Taking some good damage here, which means I can heal off some good damage. There is an expert level healing spell, Grand Healing. I almost never use it. Closed wounds is typically good enough for me. The main expert level restoration spell I use is Circle of Protection, because it's a great way to level up restoration quickly. I believe it does count as a poison type attack, so I imagine if I had something with resist poison on, it would help me with them. I don't think my shield does protects me from that attack in any way. I'm pretty sure the way forward is up this way, but I can't be certain. I'll take some gold ore, sure. I'll keep on dealing with the disconnecting controller because the alternative is using a controller that has buttons necessary for Skyrim that just don't work. Like the sticks are so loose that I can't lockpick properly. That's a speech skill book. You have dwarven armor. You lost your head. Okay, that was just the treasure room, not... I mean, I knew that the quest marker wasn't pointing to that room, so it stands to reason it wasn't the way forward. Round and round it goes. Now I just have to come a little bit further over this way. Alright, up here. Yeah, in the different sections of every district, it appears to disconnect every time I go through a loading zone, as opposed, and, no, just randomly besides that. Another chest in here. Alright. Hello, spider guardians.
Over here!
Based on that motion, I kind of thought I was decapitating them, but I was not. Is that haggling? Yes, that is the word that I read. Alright, this is where we start, where I expect to start seeing Dwemer automatons. In this section.
You're pathetic!
So's your mother. Respect to all mothers. As it turns out, it's easier to survive if you actually block some attacks sometimes. I was trapped behind me. Fortunately, I was standing far enough forward that it didn't kill me. She has former arrows. I'll take those. Alright. I do love my gold. I didn't need to walk towards that opening, but I assumed that the spiders were going to come out one way or another, and I didn't want them following me around. That's the entrance to the study. Yeah, and just go on. Still not the final area. The quest marker is pointing me towards Orchendor. And it's showing that he is not in this area. The note said the airdrome, but I don't remember if it's actually called the airdrome. Where do you find him? Dwarven Sphere Master is kind of scary. My heavy armor is in the 70s. My block just reached 49. Without the shield, my armor rating is 337. It barely cracks 400 with the shield. Of course, when you upgrade to ebony armor, it'll go up. I went through a loading zone. Maybe I should just go ahead and unplug it while it's loading. Neither the gate nor the chest were locked. You just had to think to go over there. I'm the Dragonborn. A hallway full of enemies is a great time to remind people that. I love how they can still talk while their head is in the process of flying off. It's really rather impressive. I want to know how all these plague-infested people got so much money. I don't know if I would employ people that, you know, are regularly vomiting everywhere. I mean, I'm all for reasonable sick pay, but I mean, that's a lot of problems. There's really no benefit to going through that gate. Style points, if anything. Alright. Arcanics, which I believe is actually the final room. Yes. I mean, this room is massive. If you're sneaky enough, then this Dwemer automatons will just have to end up fighting the afflicted because, you know, they have no one else to fight. I'm gonna back up and drop a couple close wounds. Alright. We are good. I'm gonna drop a save in case, you know, something weird happens and I find myself dying. I wouldn't be surprised if a Chendo kid killed me once or twice. He has very strong magic. He is actually one of people's top picks for who to make a dead thrall to have follow you forever. He is that strong. I do not have Master Conjuration, so I cannot make a dead thrall. And typically do not like to have dead thralls anyway. Oh, I forgot about you. I really shouldn't be forgetting that there's a Dwarven Centurion anywhere. Of course, I'm a melee character, so if I stay close enough to him, most of the steam just goes right over me. Just like with the Forge Master and his Flame Breath. I also don't have expert level action X to summon. Otherwise, I'd be gearing them up to fight Orchindo for me. I mean, I'll try Atronach as it is, but they won't do a whole lot to him. Where's that one going? Hello? I'm over here. We are getting close. Very, very close. Yeah, she's on the other side of that pillar. He is difficult. You cannot engage him in any sort of dialogue. His favorite thing to do is teleport. He will do so frequently throughout the course of the battle. He is the Overseer, so he can spit too. He will often teleport up onto the higher level and use the time that he's up there to heal. Alright, he's coming back down. And straight through the back. Our Chindor is dead. He has a key to the elevator. He's got all sorts of goodies on him. Let's take everything. My first touch knock did certainly help. It distracted them for a moment, which allowed me to close the distance and get good damage. So that does require the key. The chest is just past the elevator, so don't go up the elevator right away. Dragon Scale Gauntlets. And you need that key as well. This brings you up to the top. Normally I have trouble fast traveling away from here because I didn't kill everyone. But since I did this time, there's no one to stop me from fast traveling away. Let's reconnect before I run off the side of the mountain.
Need something? The vapors are waning, but not yet gone. Take a breath. Period will speak if he sees fit. Until next time.
Use the pulse in the wound. Waft.
Well done, mortal. All things are in their order, and Orchendor roams the pits. His betrayal will be punished, and your obedience is rewarded.
What will become of the afflicted?
Did you leave any alive? The afflicted are mere vessels for my blessing. It will spread to others through their touch and my own. Another overseer will replace Orchendor when the time comes. For now, all is cleansed and ordered.
What happens now?
Go, seek your fate. I will be watching. And perhaps we will meet again afterwards.
I can say I don't relish being a dangerous puppet, or very well goodbye. I'm not a puppet.
And yet, you have done my bidding. Why? I wonder.
For the reward. Very well goodbye.
Embrace order and hard truth, mortal. Goodbye.
Completed the only cure. I should now have Spellbreaker. While blocking creates a ward that protects against spells for up to 50 points. So it's a shield and ward all in one. It doesn't cost me any magic for that ward.
How can I...
So I have now completed, if I look at the quest section of the menu, 9 Digi quests. We still have Meridia and Hermes Mora and Azura and Sanguine and Boethia and Shagorath. Let's talk to Moiri.
Staying safe, I hope. There's an evil to the north, friend, and its name is Ragnvald. A tomb like so many. You're the one casts those illusions. Impressive.
Dragonvald is where there's a dragon priest. Well, one of the ones with masks, at
Well,
least.
what news? Is Elaine?
Elaine Dupont now lies dead.
Thank you. That bastard got exactly what he deserved. And I heard about Nilsine. You have more than fulfilled your part of the bargain. Please, take this as payment and a symbol of my affection.
You can
I'll
marry
never
her,
forget you.
if you so desire.
Thank you again for resolving my problem.
Alright. I'm not going to regain the rift right now. So, what should I do? I'm kind of tired, so I'm going to progress main quest slash Hermaeus Mora. Because once Hermaeus Mora starts talking, I can take a nap.
You're someone looking to protect yourself or deal some damage. Don't forget to check
What's
inside the shop if you
my
need
smithing is currently 76. I do need to make some more arrows pretty soon here. This is going to be taking me down to Blackreach. I don't want to do
I am
Blackreach.
your sword and your shield.
Is anyone watching going to be upset if I just console command 30 Crimson Nerd Root into my inventory? Warrior's Ring is about alchemy. I think next stream I'll probably be playing a game that I don't play with controller. Actually, I'm working tomorrow. I'll probably buy a controller while I'm out.
Let me know if you see anything you like.
What do you need?
Ah, so you're an alchemist then.
I didn't mean to do that. Give it back. The Lotus extract that Moiri gives you are not the only Lotus extract in the game. You can't make it yourself, no matter what your alchemy skill is. But you can get more in the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. You can start finding it near
Come back anytime
wherever
if you need a
Babette
rest.
is.
You look rather pale.
Let me know if you see anything.
Hello, welcome to the stream.
Every trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing.
Things are in general going alright.
Do come back.
Okay, so I'm going to do Discerning the Transmundane, which will take me down to Blackreach. I have not gone through Altan, but I have gone through other ways, so I can just get right back there. Today, or forever. If you mean ever since it came out. If you mean today, I've been live for about 2.5 hours. I'm choosing to lift up Mzinchlev because it's closest to Sindarian's lab. Okay, that's not entirely true. The way through Alftan is closest to Sindarian's lab. But Mzinchlev is closer than Rabthar is, at least. If I find the Crimson Nern route, it'll give me a quest marker to find the lab, so that's probably the fastest way to do it. There's going to be plenty of Chaos Hunters down here because of my level, but hopefully I won't have too much trouble. Lots of Falmer, lots of Chaos. There are some humans. There's servants of the Falmer down here. I'll pick up the Crimson Rune route that I see, but I am in no way opposed to just giving it to me. My one hit is getting real close. I don't think I've read Nightfalls on Sentinel yet. So I could do that to get an extra level. But if I go to Solstheim and then read it, I can get 2 levels. Regular quests are also lesser souls, and I just saw they have none of those to fill. I know it seems like I'm not really going towards the lab, but I'm just trying to make sure that I can actually explore somewhat in peace. And to do that, I have to kill as much as I can. I need to find a way up. Alright. The Falmer are not a big deal. Or at least regular Falmer are not. I think I'll survive this. Alright, this is the great lift that I haven't opened yet. Altoon is the one the game tells you to go through, but this is the one that I actually least often do. I did the first time I played through the game, of course, because I'm like, oh, it's telling me to go here. But since then, typically my first entrance to Black Reaches was into left, because I'm picking up Grimsever. There's this guy up here. I was playing a new file recently, and for the alternate start mod, I told it to surprise me, and it shows the one where I am a researcher in a secluded location, so it started me in this lab. That's generally considered to be the hard mode start that you don't typically want to choose, because being a level 1 character with only what's inside that lab and exiting to find a dwarven sphere is not a pleasant experience. I survived and made it out, but you kind of have to open the door and run. I'm finding more Crimson Moon roots than I expected to. So here's Sindarian's field laboratory, and here's Sindarian reading his field journals, what will start the quest, or progress the quest. 4th era 58 second seed Midas, about 150 years ago. I have spent a large portion of my life unraveling the mystery of the Nirnroot, and yet I still feel unfulfilled. The trilling sound the strange herb emits seems to taunt me, to push me even harder to discover its secrets. Even after a generous and indomitable traveler became a field collector in my stead and provided me with 5 score of the Nirnroot, I was only able to muster what I consider a mediocre alchemical creation at best. This only served to strengthen my hunger and whet my appetite for the solution. It wasn't until over 50 years later that the answer to my prayers was carried into my basement workshop at the Westfield Inn. The first thing I heard was the familiar tone, that unmistakable warble unique to the Nirnroot. When I turned around, my heart leapt and a chill ran down my spine. This was indeed a Nirnroot, but of a variety the likes of which I have never seen. The herb was awash in a spectacular array of red hues, each leaf seemingly emblazoned with innumerable variations of crimson. I couldn't move. I was completely transfixed. Never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined the species of Nernroot with such a unique property. After an awkward silence, I finally managed to stammer out a few questions to the traveler who'd brought me this treasure. He told me his name was Obeth Arnesian, a treasure seeker from Skyrim. Apparently, he'd been exploring a vast subterranean network of grand caverns called Blackreach, and had stumbled across what he dismissed as a noisy red weed. His expedition was largely unsuccessful, and he didn't want to leave the caves empty-handed, so Obeth picked one of the Crimson Nirnroot to bring home. He said that it took some time, but eventually he was pointed my way, and that perhaps I'd pay a fair price for it. Before I could gather my wits and ask anything else, Obeth offered to sell me the Crimson Nirnroot sample, a map showing me how to find Blackreach, and the strange key needed to breach its outer defenses. It took me mere moments to decide. Obeth left Skingrad 1,000 symptoms richer, but I would have easily paid 10 times that amount to obtain the sample alone. It took a year of planning, but I was able to pack up and sell my workshop and make my way into Skyrim. Before delving headfirst into Blackreach, I knew I needed to set up a new laboratory, but wished to do so in seclusion. After making inquiries at the College of Winterhold, of which I was an honorary member, I was directed to speak to Avrusa Srethi, a student of botanical alchemy who had a small farm near the city of Riften. By bartering my knowledge of Nirnroot cultivation, I was able to secure Srethi Farm as a launching point for my field research. I kept the knowledge of the Crimson Nirnroot a secret from Avrusa, but imparted everything else I knew to her in exchange for her hospitality. A few months passed, but I was finally ready to enter Blackreach. I used the attunement sphere that Obeth had provided and descended into the depths. My goal was to gather enough Crimson Nirnroot to produce my greatest alchemical creation to date. I was certain it would take at least 30 of them to provide the necessary catalyst. This brings me to the present. My initial research seems to indicate that the Crimson Nirnroot has a similar affinity for moisture as the garden variety, but also maintains some sort of symbiotic relationship with the enormous fungi that inhabits Blackreach. It is my guess that the fungi itself is a source of water, absorbing it from the moist subterranean air like a sponge. This provides the ideal environment for the Nirnroot to grow. Unfortunately, the Crimson Nirnroot appears to have a vastly shortened lifespan, and they are in no way plentiful down here. Gathering 30 of them will be quite the challenge, but hopefully the denizens of Blackreach will allow me to gather my samples unhindered. Thank you. I have worked very hard to make it so. I did not know raised zombie. Interesting. So there's a spirit attunement sphere down here if you need one for some reason. And a number of alchemical ingredients. Plus some soul gems. There is an alchemy skill book here. There's a regular Nirnroot in addition to the Crimson. The apothecary satchel will of course always have random ingredients, but the rest is fixed. This is not the only game I've played on stream. I've also played Stardew Valley, Story of Season, Friends of Mineral Town, Final Fantasy Tactics, Vampire Survivors, Cook Serve Delicious. I try to stream a variety of games. I have played Resident Evil, or at least several of the. I have not played the newest one though. There's a wisp mother over here. which is a fairly powerful enemy, but I think we can handle it. She'll rise up from the ground to fight us. Most mothers tend to split themselves when you're fighting them, but in that case, the real one stayed in front of me. But it seems like that skirmish drew the attention of many more enemies. The ones near the middle. I don't know if my Resident Evil skills are up to snuff to make for an entertaining stream of it, but if I get the game, maybe. I do have a job outside of streaming, but it would be a dream of mine to stream full time. I like when you stomp the Chorus Hunters. That feels like a sufficient way to end them. Yes, but I'm aware that I'm still a fair ways away from affiliate. I have the necessary streaming days and hours. It's the average viewers that I do not currently have. Yes, I am aware of the requirements. The former servants are typically not any more difficult than the afflicted were. And thank you for the follow. I stream on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, so archives of all my streams are saved to YouTube. I've also made YouTube videos, pre-produced videos, besides just streams. Yeah. It has been suggested to me that I should add TikTok to the platforms that I stream to. So I downloaded the app, but haven't really looked at it too much. I am also from the USA. I am in Illinois. I typically don't hassle the giant down here, but I will today. Because I want his toe. A giant down here can still hit you hard, but he can't necessarily send you to the moon. There's a ceiling. Let's have some fun down here. It's something that not everyone thinks to do. I do not do a lot with Discord. I do have it, but I almost never check it. If you use Unrelenting Force on the orb, it makes a loud clanging noise. And after a time, a dragon will show up. So yes, if you don't find that there's enough enemies already in Blackreach, you can summon a dragon to fight too. We'll see if my controller will stay connected to actually let me fight it. It even has its own name. I can minimize the damage he's doing to me with his breath by backing up a couple steps. And he seems uninterested in actually moving. The only problem is I only have 25 arrows left. And I don't think that's going to be enough to take him out. So at some point I'll have to go down there to meet him. I will consider your invitation. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to make more arrows when I get out of here. But the dragon's not going to move much. I'm gonna get as much damage as I can without getting close to him. Oh, I have like 70 steel arrows. Well, then I can keep hitting him for as long as I want. His fire is hardly doing any damage to me. Because he's a fixed enemy for this place, so he hasn't scaled levels with me. So, he doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Meanwhile, if he were not a named dragon, he would probably be Elder or above and be quite a problem. I'll hit him with arrows until I'm sure that he's hurt enough that he won't fly off as soon as I go down there. At least Zephyr has 30% faster draw speed. think I saw his I'm too hurt to fly animation. So let's try and make our way down there. Obviously I don't want to jump all that way. No, I did just get a shield that has a ward on it. I can put that up and not take any damage from his flames. Not that his flames are doing much anyway. Go ahead, give me one more bite. So a little bit of a secret boss there. Let's see, that is 10. The way out of Blackreach, getting what you need here is through this door. But I don't really want to leave with just 10 Crimson Nirnroot. Yes, I already convinced myself that it's okay to add whatever I don't get through console commands, but I don't know, having less than half just doesn't feel like I've put in enough effort. Anything above 15 I'll feel better about. And there's several down here. There's not a whole lot over here that makes taking out these Falmer particularly worth it. I'll do it anyway. I mean, yes, there's a chest right here. But most regular chests in Blackreach don't really give you much. I would consider this path more useful if it ended in an additional Crimson Nirnroot, but it ends in a Corundum Warbane. There's also plenty of mushrooms down here in Blackreach if you need more mushrooms for your potions. Nirnroot over here. I don't know why my game never makes the sound that Nirnroot is supposed to make. It doesn't matter if it's Crimson or regular, no trilling sound. And I haven't been able to find a way to fix it. If the sphere hadn't already popped out, it would have popped out when I grabbed the stuff on the table. At least the Crimson Nirnroot still glows, so I can see where it is. There's one up there, but you need Whirlwind Sprint to get to it. And to aim towards it from a specific spot. There'll be a couple more along the outside here, and then there's a path with trolls that will have more. Also, that the derelict pump house that leads you back up to the top right away also has one in it. I believe there's somewhere in the mid 40s of Crimson Nirnroot in Blackreach at any given time. Uh, so it is not unheard of to be able to gather all 30 when you're down here uh, just one time. But it is certainly easier if you gather most or some and then come back to get the rest at another time. We're gonna do our best to get 30 while we're here right now. And if I don't, then I will use console commands to give myself the rest so that I don't have to come back to Blackreach. I came down here briefly when I got Grimsever and when I did Relthar just to unlock passages to get back down here faster. So Crimson Runner at the end of that path. There is a skill book over here. Heavy armor, I think. Indeed. You could question the wisdom of me picking up a heavy armor skill book when I'm in the mid-80s. Perhaps it would have been better to save it for a little bit longer. Funny thing, the area I played when I played an hour this morning to test the controller was Blackreach, and I did not get 21 Crimson Nirnroot. I was having a much more difficult time finding them. Because I can still think of where 4 or 5 more are off the top of my head. So it is conceivable that I'll get all 30. There is one of the Dwarven Centurions that has a Crimson Nirnroot by it. Typically what I like to do is, when I'm getting ready to leave Blackreach, I'll run a circuit around the outside and activate the Dwarven Centurions so that they're walking around down here once I'm gone. It's the same principle as the unmade defense system behind Markarth. I get the automatons active to keep any Falmer threat at bay. Alright, so I want to get up to the deep market area. Where Ralphar lets out. There's several up there. If I had taken the derelict pump house, I would have ended up right in the middle of that area. Here's another couple hunters. Technically they were still in their cocoons, but they bugged out and showed me them anyway. Let me pop a couple potions. Let's not be so careless fighting a couple of chorus hunters that the game is frozen. Well, that's disappointing. It has nothing to do with the controller. The controller is not. Uh, yes, says that Skyrim is not currently responding. Uh, I'll give it a moment. I won't close it right away. Yes, Skyrim has crashed. Well, let's see how long it was since it saved. I'll reopen the game, and depending on how much progress I lost, I may just end the stream. But if I didn't lose too much, then I'll keep going. Let me move where it is. Get it into my preferred spot. I mean, I'm sure I'm in Blackreach somewhere. It was just after I came out of the laboratory. And then back down to 6 Crimson Nirnroot. Okay, you know what? I got proof of concept of finding the Crimson Nirnroot. I'm just gonna get out of here and give myself the rest of it. There's no reason to put myself through all of that again. I'll grab a couple on the way out just so I feel better about myself, but this is one of the ones I remembered but hadn't grabbed yet. It is exceedingly rare for Skyrim to crash on me. So it's exceptionally disappointing that it happened during a stream. It's not at all a common occurrence. Alright, I picked up 10. As far as getting additional Crimson Nirnroot beyond what the quest requires, it's really not necessary in terms of alchemical potions. They have the same effects as regular Nirnroot, so you don't really need more for potion purposes. Just stick with regular Nirnroot, which is so much easier to find. Ooh, diamond. That will help my uh, blacksmithing leveling significantly. Armor's Challenge is a smithing skill book. I'll go ahead and take it because I find that one to be somewhat rare to find, so I don't know that I'm going to find another copy of that book anytime soon. Alright, so this is where the quest actually takes me. Main quest and discerning the transmundane both lead here. We got Drocht and the Journal of Drocht. I weren't never one for writing about my life. The king priests of old deserve their stories told, but Drocht is a simple man, so this isn't no journal and I'm not telling any stories here. But this infernal machine done worked its way into my brain space and I won't leave till it's figured out. The whole contraption just sits like a dead horker if it doesn't have the box. Putting the box in the hole made it all come to life. 5 rings but only 4 buttons. Most of them don't work most of the time anyhows. When the lights line up, more open, but they don't seem to help. Just make another damn thing move. The old fleabag Khajiit what sold me this cube said something about the light through the knowledge that the machine rests on the cube. I remember because he made me say it back at him till I wanted to throttle him. So I did. Tried to leave, but wolves to the top and them eyeless priests outside the tower. Gotta stay here till I get it right. And I will get it right. Well, he's dead. But we'll get it. They wanted to make this puzzle completely foolproof so that anyone could complete the game. So put that there, and these first 2 buttons activate. This furthest right button, don't worry about it. It just resets things. The second button, push it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. The cube will change and this button will open. So push this button once, twice, and the last button will open. You push it just a single time and the lexicon is ruined and you gain access to the Elder Scroll. Very, very simple. And that gives me the 4th and final quest marker that leads straight down into Blackreach. There's some stuff here, so I suppose if you just came out and you're like playing on survival mode and need a place to sleep or warm up, you have it. There's also a pheasant roast in the pot. So there's food, there's shelter, bedroll, fire, everything you need to live. Okay. If you need to go use the bathroom, get a snack, make an entire 4-course meal, you can do that in a moment here. Because, Hermaeus Morris sucks slow. I've inscribed the lexicon.
Give it, quickly. Extraordinary. I see it now. The ceiling structure interlocks in the tiniest fractals. Dwemer blood can loose the hooks, but none alive remain to bear it. A panoply of their brethren could gather to form a facsimile. A trick. Something they did not anticipate. No, not even them. The blood of Altmer, Bosmer, Dunmer, Falmer, and Orsimer. The elves still living provide the key. Bear you hence this extractor. It will drink the fresh blood of elves. Come when its set is complete.
We won't push to complete this. It will be completed in time. Alright, take your break.
Come closer. Bask in my presence. I am Hermaeus Mora. I am the guardian of the unseen and knower of the unknown. I have been watching you, mortal. Most impressive. Your continuing aid to Septimus renders him increasingly obsolete. He has served me well, but his time is nearing its end. Once that infernal lockbox is opened, he will have exhausted his usefulness to me. When that time comes, you shall take his place as my emissary. What say you? Be warned, many have thought as you do. I have broken them all. You shall not evade me forever.
Alright. If you think that was long, oh boy. That is nothing. Let me find out what the console command is for Crimson Nirnroot. I'll just throw 20 more in my inventory. 22 for good measure. Crimson Nirnroot. The leading zeros are not necessary, but I feel better if I use them. Did it give it to me? Yes, it did. So, his journal mentioned Avrusa Sarethi. We have met Avrusa Sarethi. We gave her 20 jazzberry grapes. And she grows regular Nirnroot. Upon completion of this quest, some of this Nirnroot will be replaced with Crimson Nirnroot. So, keep that in mind.
It's so good to see you again.
I found Sindarian's remains.
I knew this day would eventually come. At least poor Sindarian died doing what he loved. His field research. I told the old fool we should take it easy, but he was too stubborn. Perhaps someday I'll continue where he left off. It's the least I can do, considering how much he did for me.
You can have different dialogue if you come here before. If you find him before you've done any of her other stuff.
You gathered quite a few of them, I see. I'll search through Sindarian's notes and find some more information about the Crimson Nirnroot and its properties.
Here you are.
Thank you. You've done alchemy a great service by helping to complete Sindarian's work. I'd like to give you this tome. It's one of Sindarian's greatest
I'll
works.
read that at the end of
I believe
stream.
you've more than earned it.
The Nirnroot missive. We also get Sindarian Serendipity. I'll show you that after this
When I
dialogue.
was very young, I was sent to Skingrad in Cyrodiil to study with him. He was a strange Altmer. Paid more attention to his research than his own well-being.
He lived in the basement of an inn, for goodness sakes. Well, after I fled Morrowind during the eruption, I made my way here. My family had purchased this farm, and it's all we had left. Years later, Sindirian simply showed up at our doorstep asking to stay for a while. Said he was going to do field research. He stayed with us for decades. Became an uncle of sorts to Aduri.
Then he left for Blackreach, I suppose.
One day he simply ran out to me in the field, excited that he'd made some sort of a breakthrough, and he was going to head out on another trip. He never returned. From the journal you discovered, I'm sure you know the rest. Come visit again sometime.
So, that doesn't exactly line up with his journal, but he was a little crazy. Sindarian serendipity is a permanent effect. There is a 25% chance of creating a duplicate potion when using your alchemy skill. So it can be very valuable if you still need money. We are over 3 hours, but I think I can stand to do one more quest today. Let's gain entrance to Skyhaven Temple. Now that we have the Elder Scroll, it makes sense to progress the main quest. So I will ride over in this direction. I guess the fact that the horse didn't die there proves that they are in fact essential. There are two areas over here, Karthspire and Karthspire Camp. So I will try and discover both of them while I'm here. But mostly it's going to be evading the various Forsworn. Alright, Karthspire Camp discovered. Esbern and Delphine are already here. They've been waiting for me to show up. If you have it in your mind to kill all the Forsworn here, they will help with that. But if you just want to get on with things, you can just go straight into the cave and they'll follow you in. It is not necessary that you kill all the Forsworn. That being said, I'm not really one to pass up a chance to kill more Forsworn. In fact, killing Forsworn is one of my favorite things to do. Looks like Delphine's pretty hurt. Now Esbern is a mage, so he's flinging high level spells. But there's also Forsworn up here that are also flinging spells. There's a Forsworn warlord up here who has conjured a storm Atronach of some sort. I have no shortage of vigorous healing potions, so I will take advantage of that fact. Allowing me to finish off the warlord.
Hold on. What was that?
But just because we killed the Forsworn doesn't mean we're done here. There is a Hagraven over here. Forsworn and Hagraven are also often found together. It appears to be Hagraven magic that creates the Briar Hearts. There is a dead giant here. Unfortunately, you cannot loot it for its toe,
I think we're getting close. Let's keep moving.
but its toe is in this basin. And the quote-unquote boss chest for this area is right there. This spot in particular has 2 apothecary satchels hanging on the edge of the table. As far as I'm aware, there's no other place in the game like that, where the apothecary satchels are hanging to the side as opposed to sitting on top. It doesn't really matter, I just think it's interesting. So we had our fun. We killed many Forsworn. There are a few more in the cave. We can't let the Forsworn and Esbern have all the fun. Let's conjure an Atronach of our own. I'll pop a stone flesh too.
If that's the way you want it.
There is a Briar Heart in here. But he's using... He was using low-level magic. Okay, so you don't need to have gotten to this point to the main quest to come in here. Or even to get up to the entrance to Skyhaven Temple. You do need to get here to actually enter the temple, though. If you know the solution, you do not need Delphine or Esbern to get through most of the cave.
These pillars must have something to do with it.
Yes, these are Akaviri symbols. Here, let's see. You have the symbol for king, and warrior, and of course the symbol for
Dragonborn.
That's the one that appears to have a sort of arrow shape pointing downward.
Gee,
Yes,
the...
that's it. The symbol on the middle pillar.
Wow, to get to a place where the Dragonborn sanctuary, you change all the pillars to Dragonborn. For this area, you just have to step on the symbol, only on the symbols that say Dragonborn. If you do have the perk that makes you not trigger pressure plates, you won't trigger these either. So just pull the chain when you can, and it will undo the traps for everyone, allowing you to progress forward. I didn't come here earlier so that this chest would have better loot. That's 100% of the reason.
Wonderful. Remarkably well preserved, too. Here's the blood seal. Another of the lost Akaviri arts. No doubt triggered by, well, blood. Your blood, Dragonborn.
If you need help drawing some blood, let me know. Let's get this door open and see what we've got.
Amazing, eh? To be standing at the very entrance.
And he's going to do something that drives people crazy. He's going to cut along the palm rather than, you know, a pinprick from your finger.
You did it. There's the entrance.
Now I don't know how much blood needs to be spilled to open the blood seal, so who knows, maybe it is necessary. They do let me enter first. Delphine will use her invisible torch to light some of the braziers. I wish I could light the braziers myself, but the only ones that get lit are lit by them.
Amazing. You can see how the Akaviri craftsmen were beginning to embrace the more flowing Nordic style.
We're here for Alduin's wall, right, Esbern?
Yes, of course. We'll have more time to look around later, I suppose. Let's see what's up ahead.
He just wants to enjoy the art. Delphine is hyper fixated, which is consistent with her personality.
Aldrin's wall, so well preserved, huh? I've never seen a finer example.
Not all of them necessarily light up the way they're supposed to.
Esbern, we need information, not a lecture on artistry.
Yes, yes. Let's see what we have.
Esbern Wash should light a torch this time. The one on the far left, and she'll light the one on the far right.
This panel goes back to the beginning of time, when Alduin and the dragon cult ruled over Skyrim. Here, the humans rebelled against their dragon overlords, the legendary Dragon War. Alduin's defeat is the centerpiece of the war. You see, here is fallen from the sky. The Nord Tongs, masters of the voice, are arrayed against him.
So does it show how they defeated him? Isn't that why we're here?
Patience, my dear. The Akaviri were not a straightforward people. Everything is couched in allegory and mythic symbolism. Yes, yes. This here, coming from the mouths of the Nord heroes, this is the Akaviri symbol for shout. But there's no way to know what shout is meant.
You mean they used a shout to defeat Alduin? You're sure?
Oh, yes. Presumably something rather specific to dragons, or even Alduin himself. Remember, this is where they recorded all they knew of Alduin when he returned.
So we're looking for a shout then. Damn it. Have you ever heard of such a thing? A shout that can knock a dragon out of the sky?
The Greybeards might know.
You're probably right. I was hoping to avoid having to involve them in this, but it seems we have no choice.
What do you have against Greybeards?
If they had their way, you do nothing but sit up on their mountain with them and talk to the sky or whatever it is they do. The Greybeards are so afraid of power that they won't use it. Think about it. Have they tried to stop the Civil War or done anything about Alduin? No. And they're afraid of you, of your power. Trust me.
They're strong enough.
Need to be afraid. Think of Tiber Septim. Do you think he'd have founded the Empire if he'd listened to the Greybeards? Only if you don't know how to use it. All the great heroes have had to learn to use their power. Those that shrank from their destiny. Well, you've never heard of them, have you? And there are the villains, those that misused their power. There's always a choice, and there's always a risk. But if you live in fear of what might go wrong, you'll end up doing nothing. Like the Greybeards up on their mountain. Right. Good thing they've already let you into their little cult. Not likely they'd help Esbern or me if we came calling. We'll look around Skyhaven Temple and see what else the old blades might have left for us. It's a better hideout than I could have hoped for. Talos guard you.
Look here, in the third panel. The prophecy which brought the Akaviri to Tamriel in the first place, in search of the Dragonborn. Here are the Akaviri, the blades. You see their distinctive longswords. Now they kneel, their ancient mission fulfilled, as the last Dragonborn contends with Alduin at the end of time. Are you
That is me.
blessing's effects last for very long. So ask
Eventually I can get a permanent buff from him. There is a unique blade sword here, Dragon Bane. It does 35 points of extra damage to dragons and 10 points of shock damage to others. You can also check this chest for gold and a full set of blades armor if you want it. Why not grab it while I'm here? I will actually talk to Delphine again real quick.
What do you need, Dragonborn?
So this is all the blades? 2 people?
The Thalmor hunted us down, remember? It wasn't exactly great for recruitment. But we have a headquarters of a sort now. We will rebuild the blades. Someday.
Maybe I can help you find new recruits.
If you find anyone you think would make a good recruit, I can certainly take a look at them. Remember though, being a blade is a lifelong commitment. Their loyalty has to be with us once they're in.
I know the place.
You can bring up to 3 followers to become blades. And then you can ask Esbern where dragons are. And he'll go hunt a dragon and they will show up to help you fight that dragon. Or you can wait until Esbern and Delphine are standing right here. Shout Delphine off the mountain and she will never get back up. At least in my experience. Let's... I won't go up to the top. I won't learn... I'll learn a shout today, but not the one that can be used against dragons. But I will gain access to it. So I have to find Iron Gear. Thankfully, we have a quest marker.
wind guide you.
I need to learn the shot used to defeat Alduin.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to?
It was recorded on Alduin's wall.
The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no bounds. They have always sought to turn the Dragonborn from the path of wisdom. Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own purposes?
The blades are helping me. I'm not their puppet.
No, of course not. Forgive me, Dragonborn. I have been intemperate with you. But heed my warning. The Blades may say they serve the Dragonborn, but they do not. They never have.
So, can you teach me this shout?
No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragon Rend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragon Rend holds no place within the way of the voice.
I thought you knew all the words of power.
But not Dragon Rend. The knowledge of that shout was lost in the time before history began. Perhaps only its creators ever knew it, but I am not the one to speak of it to you.
What's so bad about Dragon Rend?
It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable cruelty of Alduin's dragon cult. Their whole lives were consumed with hatred for dragons, and they poured all their anger and hatred into this shout. When you learn a shout, you take it into your very being. In a sense, you become the shout. In order to learn and use this shout, you will be taking this evil into yourself.
If the shout is lost, how can I defeat Alduin?
Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses.
I need to speak to Paarthurnax then.
You weren't ready, you still aren't ready. But, thanks to the Blades, you now have questions that only Paarthurnax can answer.
Who is Paarthurnax?
He is our leader. He surpasses us all in
Party
his
snacks.
mastery of the way of the voice.
Why haven't I met?
He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain. to us only rarely, and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege.
How can I get to the top of the mountain to see him?
Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Pathanax.
And they will do so as slowly as they do everything else. So I will beat them out to the courtyard, and come over here, where they will teach me the shout. Right now, I cannot get through here. If I try, I take a little bit of damage.
The path to Pathanax lies through this gate. I will show you how to open the way.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Look.
Sorry, Core. I learned all 3 words.
This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well.
I have plenty of dragon souls, but it will teach me how to use it for free.
Clear skies will blow away the mists, but only for a time. The path to Pathanax is perilous, not to be embarked upon lightly. Keep moving, stay focused on your goal, and you will reach the summit.
And I will do that at the start of the next stream. But for now, if you watch live on YouTube or on Twitch, thank you for being here. If you are watching the archive later on YouTube, thank you for checking it out. I hope that however your day is going, it is progressing favorably for you. And I will end this stream by reading the Nirnroot Missive. The Nirnroot Missive, Revised Edition by Sindarian. The following is a transcript of the speech given by Master Alchemist Sindarian at the Alchemical Symposium on Rain's Hand of 4th Era 2. It is a revised version of an earlier missive Sindarian gave to the same group several years before. We've done the best we could to preserve the original tone of his speech, but some light embellishments have been made for editorial reasons and for clarity. Sharman Raythorn, Imperial Scribe. I would like to address this symposium today with some starting revolutions regarding the Nirnroot. Although this curiously tenacious flora grows almost anywhere a significant body of water is present, it's extremely rare and soon to become extinct. After years of extensive research and the tireless efforts of my field assistant, I came into the possession of a large sampling of Nirnroot. According to the theories presented by the noted imperial herbalist Thivvius Regalium, the Nirnroot once flourished until a cataclysmic event severely reduced their numbers. Although many scholars reject the proposal that the sun's death event of Thurstera 668 catastrophically affected plant life, Thivvius felt that the Nirnroot's normal growth cycle was interrupted by the lack of sun for a full year. Whereas other plant species tend to "find a way," the Nirnroot's mysterious magical nature made it especially susceptible to this climate shift. While this may or may not be the case, it's certainly true that the recorded sightings of Nirnroot are declining as the years pass. Thivvius's notes oddly describe the Nirnroot as emitting a brilliant yellowish glow. Contrary to this fact, the Nirnroot of today has a soft, haunting blue-white glow. Subsequent studies by other scholars have failed to adequately explain this shift in hue. I propose that the Nirnroot sensed its own impending extinction and therefore altered its metabolism in order to survive. One of the most glaring pieces of evidence of my theory is the presence of Nirnroot in subterranean environments, places completely devoid of sunlight.
Strangely, Livius's notes fail to mention even a single instance of a subterrestrial nirnroot. How could this be? How could a surface-dwelling plant suddenly become appearing in new locations radically different from its normal habitat? The answer, my fellow alchemists, is ironically concealed within Livius's own notes. Although he spends a great deal of time experimenting with the nirnroot in his laboratory, he overlooked an important part of a plant's growth cycle: its soil. Livius was correct in assuming the volcanic eruption of Red Mountain contributed to the demise of the nirnroot, but I believe the ash from that mighty explosion did more than simply cloud the skies. When mixed with the fertile soil of Cyrodiil, this fine powder is the true cause of the nirnroot's astounding metamorphosis. Although little volcanic ash from that dark time remains, I have performed tests on samples sent to me from Vardenfell. Careful scrutiny of the samples revealed that they were rife with ash salt, a highly magical substance. Dunmer natives of the Vardenfell region were known to have used ash salt as an ingredient to cure the Blight, an awful disease which decimated their realm hundreds of years ago. This unique property of the ash salt, coupled with the nirnroot's inherent magic, caused the radical change. In essence, the root healed itself. In summation, it's clear that the nirnroot was dying and used a byproduct of its destructor to preserve itself. I feel the nirnroot has accomplished in a relatively short amount of time what it would take other species thousands of years to complete. Whether you subscribe to my theory or not, one thing is certain: the nirnroot is on the path to destruction. It contains untapped potential to create potions the likes of which have never been seen in our day. I propose to you today that we divert a small portion of our funds to an expedition to collect some of these roots to study. I have outlined this proposal for your perusal after the section of the symposium. Please seriously consider this proposal before it comes too late, and the nirnroot becomes nothing but a memory. Thank you for your time.